Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got a fun get ready with me video for y'all today, playing with some drugstore makeup, some newer drugstore makeup. I'm not going to use all these things in here, but some of these things in here I use in this look. It ended up kind of being like a purpley pink, just fun sort of makeup look. So yeah, you'll get to kind of see these products in action and get ready with me today. So if you're new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I love to do get ready with me's, new at the drugstore videos, favorites, empties, just a lot of fun stuff here on my channel. So if you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and stuck around for a while. I'd love to have you here on my channel. So yeah, we're doing a get ready with me, playing with some newer drugstore makeup. So let's get to it. Okay, so I already applied some moisturizer. So I'm going to use this product that really kind of surprises me, that I thought I would hate this, to be honest, and I really don't. This is the Maybelline Green Edition Tinted Oil, and I have the shade 010, which this I think is pretty close to an accurate color match for me. It's maybe a little bit light, but I am just surprised that I don't really mind this. Obviously it's a dropper kind of packaging to it, and I just thought, I don't know, it would sit on top of the skin and be really oily, but it actually doesn't. I mean, it kind of melds into the skin pretty well and has almost like a satin kind of a finish. And I just remembered you're supposed to be able to kind of change how much coverage you get by how many drops you use. Obviously those weren't drops, that was just kind of smearing it on my face, but I feel like it's important to kind of get it on there initially versus build it up with layers, because I haven't found that this really layers on itself well. You know, like I can even see there, it's like when you use the layers, that's when it kind of doesn't get into the skin as well. It's like it's almost trying to adhere to the layer underneath it. Yeah, so my forehead I just applied more initially, and it's definitely looking better than on my cheek. My cheek is kind of looking a little bit dry. It's actually looking quite dry right in here, which is where I can get some dry patches. And it looks like it's kind of sitting on top of my skin. My forehead looks much better than my cheeks. My cheeks actually look a little bit rough. So I think it's important that however much coverage you want, make sure you put that on there right at the beginning. Don't try to layer this because it doesn't seem like it layers well. So to kind of fix how this is looking on my cheeks, I'm just going to use a little bit of the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in Porcelain, just to kind of hopefully smooth this out a little bit. That seemed to help, but yeah, this product definitely seems like it needs to be used kind of in the correct way or the recommended way. But overall, I mean, I thought I would really, really hate this, and I don't. But it's not something that I'm going to reach for regularly. It's just not, I don't want to have to kind of like think about how I'm applying a product. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to put it on my face. It works. I can layer it. I can use one layer. I don't really have to kind of like think about application. So it's not going to be something that I reach for a ton. Quickly gonna apply my brows and I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer. I also applied some eyeshadow primer, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Okay, so let's use some of these Maybelline shadow blocks. So I think I wanna play with the purpley pink one, which seems to, there's one shade in here that really, really struggles with pigmentation. So let's see what I can do with it. But I am gonna start with this one, which is West 4th and Perry Street. I'm going to start with this top color right here in the stack, and I'm going to apply this. I'm looking for a brush. Where's the brush? I'm going to apply this into my crease and transition area, and then kind of all over my lid too, just as an initial kind of first application. I would say that this stack is probably my favorite of the bunch, or one of my favorites. I grabbed for this one the most, and I feel like, you know, the shadows are pretty usable in this one. So I actually do really like this one. So this purpley stack is Broadway and Prince Street, and this bottom light kind of lavender shade really doesn't swatch well. So I'm just gonna try to use this in my crease and kind of outer corner. You know what, let's just put it in the same place I put the other one. Give more of a purpley look. But I wanted that kind of neutral tone in there too from the other palette. I can maybe see a tiny bit of change. It does look slightly more purpley versus kind of rosy, but not a big change. So I think that one just really kind of struggles with pigmentation. But this one in the palette, or in the little trio, looks really pretty. This middle shade, like a metallic kind of fuchsia. So I'm gonna get that on kind of a larger pencil brush, and I'm gonna spray this with some setting spray and apply this all over my lid. I think that look came together pretty well. I mean, the quality is definitely not amazing on these, but I do have some that I think are fine, that I don't mind, like that one, this one right here. Man, is there another one? Oh, I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, because I like this middle shade in this one. This is 82nd and Park Avenue, but I think this purpley one is workable, but not my favorite of the bunch, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna apply some liner and mascara. I'm gonna use my Rimmel Scandaleyes pencil in brown and the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Okay, concealer. I don't think I have a newer one, but one that I always love, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser in the Brightener shade. I'm gonna start with that. I like to just kind of get some on my finger and just tap this primarily on the inner, I don't know, third of my under eye. That's really where I kind of concentrate it. And then I'll maybe kind of bring over a little bit of product over that way, but mainly apply it right here because that's where I have the darkest shadows. What a difference concealer makes, or really this is a color corrector, but color correctors and concealers make a huge difference. And then the Maybelline Fit Me, and I definitely need some bronzer. I am looking very, very light right now. I think this color is definitely light for me and kind of yellow. I'm more neutral pinky toned, so I think that's part of it too, that it's not really my ideal shade match either. I didn't even did I tell you what I'm using? I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me and just getting the tiniest little bit. I just kind of use it off of the side of the applicator and applying some kind of in that same area. And I'm gonna set my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder in translucent. Man, I just opened a few little dots on one side of it and there's a ton of product that came out. So lesson learned, I thought I was applying, you know, or opening just the tiniest little space, but apparently it wasn't tiny enough. Let's see if we'll be able to see it all. I'm going to use a little bit of this purpley shadow along my lower lash line. I don't want that very dark, so it's not necessarily a bad thing if it's not super pigmented under there, but I would like to see a little bit of it. Not super pigmented, but I can see a little bit of a difference, which is what I was going for. So for my lower lashes, I'm going to use the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. Okay, let's warm up my face. My goodness, I need some bronzer and some color. I have been so impressed with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. I have fair and then light medium. There is a shade in between, but I was trying to go for kind of more cool toned. I love kind of blushy bronzers. So this one definitely is more on the cool toned side, but I thought light medium would be too, and it's, I would just, well, I'll use it in a second. We can kind of look at it, but I would say that it's a little bit warmer than I was expecting. So I'm going to start with fair first. I'm just going to apply this into the hollows of my cheeks, but then I'm also going to do kind of a light dusting on some other areas of my face just to kind of warm up my skin a little bit. Just going to use a really fluffy brush and just kind of dust this over my face just for a little bit of color. And now I'm going to use light medium. So let's look at this one. I'm going to use this one a little bit lower, kind of not quite as generously everywhere. Yeah, so this one isn't super orangey for sure. And I'd say yes, it has a little bit of a rosy tint, but not as much as I was expecting it. It's almost, It's almost like a red-orange tint, if that makes sense. But I do really like these. I love how they blend and how they wear. Great formula. These are really, really good. They do have a scent to them, but they kind of dissipate over time. And once I have it on my skin, I really can't smell it, so it doesn't bother me. I'm going to use a little bit of one of these Maybelline Cheek Heats. These are not new, but I've been liking them. I've been really liking them. So I'm going to use the shade Pink Scorch with a small stipple brush and just stipple this onto my cheeks. We're just going kind of super pinky look, because why not? I really like how these look on the skin. They have a little bit of like a glow to them. And I find that they're easy to apply and buildable. I'm actually impressed with them, and I don't remember liking them in the past, so I don't know. Maybe my preferences changed, maybe the formula changed, maybe both. But I like them now. I like to go along the edges to kind of blend my blush, just using a powder brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the lightest shade from that purpley palette and put this kind of on the inner corners of my eyes just for a soft highlight. This doesn't seem to have any kind of a shimmer or glow to it. It's just kind of a lighter shade. And then onto lips, I'm going to use one of these CoverGirl, I think these are called like the Moisture Core lipsticks. I'm going to use this one that does have a little bit of a glow to it, almost a little bit of a metallic sheen, but we're just playing with makeup and having fun. So I'm going to first use the CoverGirl Lip Flip Liner in Loving Rose, so you can fill in your lips completely with these if you want to. It's kind of an angled sort of a lip pencil. So I'm going to start with this. And then I'm going to use one of the Moisture Core lipsticks in Amazing Petal. So this has kind of a, I mean, look at that. It's a very sort of purpley, metallic-y sheen, but why not? I like this one. There is a lighter one that I got and was not a fan. I think it was called like Caring Blush, and that one was so metallic-y. I really couldn't make that one work, but I like this one. I think it's fun, and I was going for a super purpley pink sort of makeup look. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. So I hope that y'all really enjoy getting ready with me today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Let me know down below what you think about these products, or what else have you been loving lately? I would love to hear that. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.